Can we find answers to our life's problems by looking to our past? For many people, past life regression has been the key to healing and understanding themselves.
Past life regression is a form of therapy that's used by people who believe that we have all had past lives and that many of the psychological problems that we may suffer from in this life may have their roots in some kind of traumatic event which took place in the past life.
What I do for a living, I'm an interpreter, freelance interpreter, and I'm also a Reiki therapist. I live in London for the moment.
What's brought you here today?
I have to say, curiosity and also a feeling that maybe I can get some help with relationships. I seem to have some sort of blockage or denial going on there that I quite don't understand, and I was hoping maybe you could help me with that.
Okay, what kind of relationships in brief, the issues in relationships do you feel that you have or that you've been through in particular?
Well, with relationships it's a big issue, but I find it that I have issues with family relationships. I've always run away from my family members. I avoid them, not because I don't like them, I love them, but it seems to me that it's very hard to maintain a conversation. I suppose I'd like particularly to understand, why it is that I act like that, and why is it that I'm attracting these sorts of situations and running, because the biggest thing, I run from every situation. If I'm not okay, I leave. So I was hoping maybe, I could understand a bit more of what is going on, what has happened in the past that I don't seem to have dealt, and go from there.
And just allow yourself to let go of any stress, tension hidden in your mind and body now. And as you see a pair of feet, you move up the feet, you'll see the legs and the body. Just build up an image of who this is. A clearer image in your mind's eye. Move up the body and you'll see a face, or the outline of a face. Is it male or female? What do you sense?
Female.
Okay. And as you see this female, get a sense of what she's wearing. What is she dressed in?
It's something from 1720.
Is that the date you're given?
1710. That was on the wheel when it stopped.
Okay. So 1710 is the date.
Yeah, of course, some grey shoes with a buckle.
Okay, so grey shoes with a buckle.
And
what is she wearing?
I've got skirts.
Okay.
And there's some sort of shirts underneath that come to up there and they tie up on a bow.
Okay. How old do you sense her to be?
15.
15. Okay. And just ask her what her name is. See if any names or phrases come to mind or any letters.
Mary.
Okay. And
there's a small child on a sort of a swing, and I sense she's looking after it, but I'm not sure whether...
That's her child?
Yeah.
Or a sibling?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you sense from her instincts? Is this a child of hers, or do you feel it's a family member or a friend, or she's looking after the child? What do you sense?
She's looking after the child.
And this young child, which is her brother, to look after.
Yeah.
Do you feel something has happened to her family?
I think so.
Okay, at the count of 3, let's discover what's happened to her parents and family, and just allow the picture to unravel itself. So you feel there was a fire, and your mother was in the fire.
Yeah, I think my parents may have died in the fire, yeah.
Was it just the mother, father? Were there other members? What do you sense?
It was mother, father, and 2 other girls.
Okay.
But the one face, I think it's my mother, I can see.
So in a way everyone is gone and you're left alone
Yeah.
with the child. How do you feel about that? The responsibility.
It's unfair.
Why is it unfair?
I'm only 15.
What age did your parents die? How old were you?
I was 14.
So it's only been a year. Okay. Is there anyone out? Any family members, any relatives that come and help you, or are you completely by yourself?
I'm by myself.
Where are you? What are you doing?
I'm still in the same spot. Only now, my brother is running around. But he's not there. He's not there. I lost him.
What happened?
I can't find him.
He's gone.
Yeah, I'm looking for him. I don't know if he's playing up, like hide and seek or something, but I'm very freaked out because he's gone missing. He's floating, head down. There's nobody to help me. I don't know what to do. He's not pretty, he's blue. I think he's dead.
Do you blame yourself?
No. I'll blame my parents because they left me alone. They left us alone. And now I'm alone again. He was all I had left.
Any guilt, any resentment, any fear? Place your hands on your heart. Release them. And use this as your cleansing process. Taking deep breaths. And just putting slight pressure on your heart with each breath that you take. Just let go of the pain, of the trauma that you've just remembered. How do you feel you've grown from that experience, looking back?
I don't get attached to people no more.
Okay. So you learned the art of detachment.
Yes.
Okay. So at the count of 3, I want you to connect with a past life where relationship issues with lovers, has been a prominent theme, where a situation is still holding you back. 1, 2, and 3.
I'm a naked man.
Okay.
But my toes, my nails have polish.
Okay. Just keep with it.
I think I like dressing as a woman.
Okay, dressing up.
Yeah.
Okay. What does he show you? What do you sense? What do you see?
I died a virgin.
Okay. Looking back at his life, were there any events or situations where he could have easily have had sex with someone, but maybe what held him back? What was it?
His father used to spank him when he found him using my clothes. And I needed to lock me in the room. Whew. I'm gonna need some time to think about that. Yeah.
Just think it through. That's one of the messages you came through.
Yeah.
Was, I think, because of what happened, you lost that child.
Yeah.
And the family left you. You don't get attached.
Yeah, no, I don't get attached. From very young age. But
That's not
I don't miss
negative
anyone. I never did. At least not in this lifetime. Obviously, in that other one was a completely different issue. I did a lot.
And what about your second life? Was that a bit of a surprise, a shock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not shock. No, I don't shock easily. But it was definitely a surprise. But and I have the feeling he did like her. I have the feeling he did like her. But because of all of these things in his
Yeah.
mind,
I think
he
it's-
just did not want, in the fact that his dad not
Yeah.
only abused him, but his mother, he
mum.
didn't want to have any
Having a
part of it.
relationship. And for you, I think maybe self-acceptance is part of your path in this lifetime.
He never had sex. He died a virgin. That's shocking. Wow.
So what do you feel you're taking away from this experience at this point in time, from these two lives that you've lived, two very different lives, but two very emotional
Well,
and very vivid lives?
you know, it does show. I mean, self-sufficient. That is amazing, because in this lifetime, that's the number one thing.
Yeah.
I can do, and I
Anything.
do anything. I also understand now my detachment with people.
Yeah. You understand where it's come from.
Yeah.
and when you learn
It's
from
interesting
experiences.
about the self-acceptance. That is interesting, and the trusting issue.
Yeah. Because part of that is trusting yourself in order to trust someone else.
Yeah, I wonder what else
What other lives
I've
you've
been
led.
doing. Yeah. Whatever. Well, thank you. This was just unexpected, but at the same time wonderful. It's going to take me a while to actually.
Yeah, that's fine. Give yourself a couple of days to think
yes.
it through, and then you'll probably have a clearer mind.
A lot of
what you
information
got out
that I
of
wasn't
it
expecting.
and how it's impacted you, and any changes that you feel within yourself emotionally.
Yeah, that's fantastic stuff, actually. Yeah.
I'm 46 years of age. I have been having headaches most of my life. At the moment I'm a student. Today I'm here to see if I can find out where my headaches started. My headaches started when I was a child. The older I got, the closer they got together, and the more intense they got. I've tried everything. I've tried Alexander technique, I've tried sports massage, trying to think of the other things I've tried, but I've tried most things. I've been taking painkillers such as ibuprofen and paracetamol for at least 15 years, and I take them daily. I've been going back many years. I was in relationships, violent relationships with men. I tend to fall in love with philanderers, abusers. So at 46, the longest relationship I've had was actually 3 years. And I'd like to find out why I'm attracted to these dreadful people.
Take a deep breath, breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the mouth. Breathing in and breathing out. And just allow your whole body to relax, to drift and float in peace. And as I speak, you will feel even more and more relaxed as you let go of yourself completely. Your mind and body are in sync. And just allow yourself to fall deeper and deeper into relaxation. Your legs. Okay. At the count of 3, I'd like you to connect with a past life where we can gain insight on migraines or abusive relationships. 1, 2, and 3. I want you to look down and you'll see a pair of feet in your mind's eye. Can you see a pair of feet?
Yes.
And as you see this pair of feet, I want you to move up and you'll see a pair of legs. Can you see a pair of legs?
Yes.
And as you see a pair of legs, you'll see the body and torso as you move up. Can you see the body and torso? And as you move up, you'll see the face and the outline of a face. And now if you stand back, you just get an impression or an image of this person. What do you sense? Either male or female?
Male.
Okay. And as you see this male, just get an impression or an image of what they're wearing. What do you sense them to wear? Just allow this male to become crystal clear and the details around him. What do you sense him to be wearing?
Pointed shoes.
Okay.
Socks. It's up to the knee. And shorts. Trousers to the knee. A jumper and a hat, a peaked hat. He married the woman he didn't love.
Okay. Anything else that upsets him?
He lives in the village and the woman he was in love with married someone else.
Did she move away or live in the village?
No, she lives in the village.
So she's a constant reminder of what
Yeah.
happened. And do you feel this is the main theme? The main thing that's upsetting him?
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's go back. At the count of 3, let's go back to that situation where he was with this woman earlier on. 1, 2 and 3.
She's not allowed to marry him
Why not?
because his family doesn't have enough money.
So is she very wealthy?
Yes, she's from a wealthy family.
And he's not.
Mhm.
So in a way it's money that's kind of keeping
Yes.
them apart. And how does that make them feel?
Very sad.
Okay.
They were told they could never marry. They used to see each other in secret.
Was there no other option?
No,
What about running away?
no.
Why wouldn't they run away?
Nowhere to go. He marries, but not for love.
What does he marry for? Money, maybe?
Because he got the girl pregnant.
Okay. It wasn't a choice, it was more of a moral obligation, maybe?
Yes.
Okay. And how do you feel this shapes his attitude to love and relationships?
Well, he's not in love with this woman and he has to live in the village with the woman who he's in love with another man.
I really want you to connect with them both and see if you can uncover the spiritual reason, or maybe why this happened. Was there an important lesson you needed to learn? See what you're shown.
He could have fought. He didn't fight.
So the
He
lesson
could have
being,
fought for her.
so you
but
need
he
to learn
didn't.
to fight.
The father was an angry bully.
Okay. Did he bully Deacon at any point?
Yeah, Deacon was bullied and so was his mum.
So in a way the father was a root cause of him not being proactive, not being
Yes.
assertive. Do you feel he felt victimised?
He did.
Okay.
He always tried to please his father for his father to love him.
Okay.
His father was big in comparison and used to call him puny, so he feels just
What would have made him happy?
to be with the woman he loved.
But in order to do that he needed to be strong. He needed to be assertive. He needed to be voicing his concerns, his interest, which he never did. Are you able to see that now?
Yes,
And are you able to relate that to yourself?
yes,
How you yourself in this life
yes.
needs to speak up for your own self, to be assertive. And maybe for once do what you want instead of following others. Maybe there's been a pattern too often that they make the decisions and you're left on the sidelines.
Yes,
Do you feel you're now, having made this realisation, in the position to change this?
yes.
Do you want to move forward from this?
Yes,
So we're actually going to do a bit of a role play. We're going to reframe the situation that you went through. I want you to go back in your mind to that point where you find out she's going to be married off. Can you go there at the count of 3? 1, 2 and 3. However, this time round, you choose to fight. You choose to make a decision. You choose to be strong. So what I want you to do is take these images as your cue, that from this day forward, you will be assertive, confident, and be able to voice your concerns. I'd like you to connect with a past life to see if we can explain and find a cause for where your migraines may stem from. And as you see this, just get a sense, are you male or female?
Female.
Okay. And as you sense this female, what do you sense her to be wearing?
Skin.
And how would you describe her personality? How does she seem? Let's really engage with her.
Sad. Sad.
Why is she sad? What's wrong?
Because her husband he beats her.
He's abusive?
Yeah.
Okay. How long has this been going on for?
6 years.
Why does she put up with it?
Because that's what the women do.
How did it all begin?
As soon as she was in puberty, the man took her to be his.
So was she forced?
It just happens.
That's the culture. What happens before this occurs? What are you shown? What do you sense? What do you see? What do you feel?
My husband are very angry. Others have had babies recently and still no baby. So he's very upset, very angry.
What does he do? How does he react?
He clubs her round the head very hard and it kills her.
What does he club her with? A hand? A weapon?
A weapon.
What weapon does he use?
A weapon that he goes out hunting with.
Okay. Is it sharp?
It's just a blunt, heavy item used for just killing animals.
Let's get to that point. What goes through your mind? How do you feel? Those final moments.
I know the pain. I know what pain's coming because I've experienced that pain so many times. But this time it was much harder, the blow.
I want you to soul to soul and really get an understanding of the purpose of her going through this experience of suffering abuse, of not being able to conceive. What is the message there, the lesson there for you to learn? What comes through? What do you sense? What do you feel?
Leave, go, walk away.
Having a choice. Practice self-value. And start loving and accepting yourself. And as a result, I want her to feel more empowered and be able to stop the abuse. So now in your image, in the mind, so how are you feeling?
Right.
So what are your afterthoughts? How are you feeling within yourself?
I feel empowered, feel stronger, ready to
Rock and roll.
rock and roll.
I think the kind of important lessons for you to take away from this whole experience is to be more in touch with your own power and realising your own power. And I think the reason you've attracted all these abusive partners is for you to realise your own power, because in a way the conflict they're brought into you is really for you to challenge who's in charge. And I don't necessarily think that you need to be all powerful. Once again, I think it's about having balanced power and kind of taking it in turns and maybe exploring the whole power kind of relationship that you have with people. But I think it's your time to really take the lead and to kind of pursue the initiative. Don't wait around. Maybe you wait around too much.
So there's a balance rather than me being...
Because you don't want to once again fall in the other pattern where you're the controlling one and then you've got someone else who's much weaker, because in a way, once again, you're not going to be happy. I think it is for you now to strike a balance. And it's interesting, from both of your lives, that same pattern has been repeated. And then you've got the blow to the head, which kind of is related to that. So in a way, it's interesting that your relationship issues and the possible migraines, if they're related, there could be a possible connection here. So really, I would love to see how, as the days unfold, if you see an improvement with your headaches.
Yes, it was good. I thought it went very well.
What did you get out of it?
Well, I'm feeling empowered. Learning about the two different people in my past life I connected with, and was able to take from that and take it away with me.
Are there any important messages we're listening before we've learned from this experience?
Definitely, to be more assertive. Getting flies on me. To definitely be more assertive, not let people walk over me. I think a lot. I think I'm going to be a completely different person. I don't think my boyfriend's going to know what's hit him.
It's a good thing.
In a good way. Hopefully I'm going to be headache free, and I know what it would be down to.
Hi, I'm Marissa Peer. I'm a hypnotherapist and a psychotherapist. I've been practicing for 25 years in England and in America, and actually all over the world. I find past life very interesting. It's not something I've specialised in, but I have found over the 25 years that I've had at least 5 occasions when people unexpectedly went back to very profound, really interesting past lives, where they had access to information they couldn't possibly have had. The most interesting one was a girl who was very overweight and went back to being in a concentration camp and started to speak German and assured me she didn't even know German. So that was very interesting. But the most interesting thing for them was that they left the session with an understanding of why they had that behaviour, which went on to cure it.
What would you see are the healing benefits of past life regression?
Well, the healing benefits are that most people come in and say, you know, I do this and I don't know why I do this and I wish I could stop. I've got a fear of heights, or I can't stop binging. And until you can explain why, you can't fix what you don't really understand. And when they can go away and go, oh yes, now I see I did that because of that, but I no longer need to do it, that's incredibly healing because it cures people. I understand reincarnation as coming back, having more than one life. So living your life ending, and then returning and living another life, and believing that with every life you live, you're learning and evolving.
Okay. Do you feel there are any risks involved in this kind of therapy?
I don't think there are any risks. I mean, I think you have to be very careful about people who go and you know, a lot of people will tell you that everyone wants. People who come in and say, I want to go to a past life, always want to be Nefertiti or Cleopatra. They never want to be a chimney sweep or a ploughman, and that's what most people were. And so when I've had this spontaneous past life regression coming up, what was the most interesting thing was that people were just ordinary. They were bakers, they were butchers, they were housewives. They weren't Napoleon or Oliver Cromwell. But, you know, a lot of people will only want to be that. And it's not a danger, but you have to be careful about people exploiting that.
What you're going to believe some theories on? Maybe people are making this up, maybe they've seen a film or read a book or seen a movie, or these are legends they picked up, so maybe the subconscious mind is literally picking up what they've learnt in this life. What do you feel about that?
Well, there are 3 different ways of past life regression. One is that you are absolutely going back to something that you couldn't possibly know about. But the second one is that just as you can inherit your grandfather's nose or eyes or intolerance to nuts, there is a belief that says you can inherit other people's memories and experiences. And of course the third school is that people read historical dramas or watch Downton Abbey and suddenly have this great belief that they're a parlourmaid in 1911 as well. So, you know, there are three different ways of looking at it.
When skeptics say that the healing takes place because from a therapist's suggestion as opposed to really reliving a past life memory, what do you feel about that?
Well, that's why you have to be very careful that the therapist does not suggest it. You know, you mustn't suggest it. And that's why with me, it's happened completely spontaneously. I was looking for why someone had a fear of water or a fear of heights. I mean, specifically working with someone who had a profound fear of heights. And usually that often stems from someone swinging you around as a baby. And yet, interestingly enough, he went back to crashing a plane in the First World War, and I certainly wasn't suggesting that to him, and it was a surprise to me, as it was to him. And when people go back to that, it's very important not to lead them. You know, it's like people who will say to people, what year is it, if they're way better. People didn't know what year it was. So you can't really ask them any leading questions. You can ask them what do they wear, what do they eat, you know, describe how they live, and then you get information. But it's not really about that. It's about what's happening to them and how could what they're going through in that lifetime have an impact on this one.
And how does past regression have an impact on your work as a therapist?
I think it made me incredibly spiritual, and it made me believe that in reincarnation, because the 5 or 6 situations I did, which were incredibly profound, were very moving and very hard to understand and very hard to... It's a bit like, you know, ghosts. You can't really logically explain it, but it was a very profound experience. And in each case, the people that came in, the girl who was binging, who'd been binging for 20 years, said that it stopped overnight. She'd never binged again. The person who had the profound fear of water promptly went off on a cruise. And the person who had the terrible, paralysing fear of heights, who couldn't even go to a fun fair with his children, went straight off and did a walk through one of those rope bridges quite high up. And he couldn't even go on a plane. So what was the nicest thing was that it had a very healing effect on them.
Okay, just want to make a comment on one of our case studies. So we've had Maxine, and she's had headaches for the past 30 to 40 years. She's been on paracetamol ibuprofen for 25 years. In the regression session, she actually remembered being battered by her husband. And she's actually got patterns of abusive relationships in his life. However, after the session, she actually reported a 60% reduction in the headaches.
Okay.
What are your thoughts and opinions on that? So is the health benefit there physical?
Well, yes, the health benefit is physical, and of course that's the whole point of therapy. You need to understand what is causing the headaches, because the mind can create every single illness known to man. It can create the symptoms of every illness, and of course the symptoms are real. So whether you've got a migraine because you've been in a room that's full of toxic paint, or whether you've got a migraine because it's coming up because of these painful memories, it doesn't really matter. The whole point is to cure it. So I think that's excellent, and that's working for her. And the fact that she's spent 30 years getting no relief from medication, and of course all that medication is incredibly toxic to your liver, I think it's actually good that she can say she's been to have a therapy that's done her no harm and has apparently done her some good, because she doesn't need to take the medication.
Okay, thank you for...
My definition of reincarnation is coming back, living more than one life. So my definition would be that you have a life, that life ends, and you come back and have another life. And I feel that in each lifetime you're learning something. And in nature everything comes back, so why wouldn't humans?
I'm Professor Chris French. I'm head of the Anomalistic Psychology Research Unit here at Goldsmiths, University of London. In this life. Now, it may be that it's a technique that would be helpful to some people, because obviously ultimately we're dealing with psychological problems, and if we're dealing with psychological problems, then any kind of psychological treatment that the person believes in may actually help to relieve those problems. But in terms of the actual underlying rationale, in terms of whether in any sense people really are going back mentally in time to a past life, then many people, including myself, would be extremely sceptical about any such claims.
Okay. Where do you sit on reincarnation as a concept, and in terms of psychology, is there any room for it?
Reincarnation is the belief that we've all lived many past lives, perhaps an infinite number of past lives, and that when the physical body dies, the soul inhabits a new body and lives a new life, and this is a recurring cycle. In terms of modern psychology, it's not a well-accepted viewpoint, despite the fact that a huge proportion of the Earth's population do in fact accept this belief. In terms of why people might believe in reincarnation, there are a whole host of different reasons. It's one version of a general belief in life after death. It, for some people, accounts for why bad things seem to happen to good people. You can account for this in terms of the law of karma, that you're being punished for something that you did in a past life. It makes life appear more meaningful for many people, but certainly for modern neuroscience, there's no role for reincarnation. There's no possible mechanism by which it could work, and no very compelling evidence that it actually does happen.
Okay. As a therapeutic discipline, do you feel it can help people? Let's take past lives, whether it exists or not, but as a discipline, do you feel there are benefits there for patients?
The question of whether or not anyone can benefit psychologically from undergoing past life regression is a different question to whether or not past lives actually exist. And the fact that we're dealing with psychological problems means that if someone finds the idea that they have current problems, say current phobias or obsessive compulsive issues, that stem back and relate to something which they believe happened in a past life, it may actually, in some cases, help them to deal with those issues in their current life, and may quite conceivably help them. I'm not aware of any actual outcome studies that look at how effective past life regression actually is, but certainly in terms of my understanding of what's going on, it wouldn't surprise me if in fact some patients do benefit from it. Whether they all do or not, whether any do, I don't know, because that's an empirical question.
Okay. Do you feel there are any risks involved of undertaking such a process? And what are those risks?
I think there may be some risks involved in going through past life regression. But one thing that we know for certain is that when people go through either past life regression or even regression back into earlier in their own current lives, then they not only appear to remember events which took place at those times, they also virtually relive the actual episodes. And so this is one of the reasons why many people find these episodes very compelling, because if you ever see someone going through this, they relive the emotion. So they might, for example, relive the emotion of their own death in a past life. Now that can be a very, very traumatic thing to go through. And you know, when you're dealing with those kinds of extreme emotions, you do need to be extremely careful that you're not going to actually end up doing more damage than good.
Okay. In terms of memories, how does
For sure.
what has this regression given you in 3 words?
In 3 words,
Yeah,
I have to say relief, confidence, and peace. Yeah.
And how has this changed your perception or beliefs in past lives?
Well, in that sense, to be honest, did not change much, because I was already expecting what we got. I've always been very keen in knowing more and finding out more about past lives. I have a couple courses that might touch the subject, but to actually, have them, and I always thought it was not important, but interesting, and it turned out to be, quite important for me at this moment in time, in the sense that all these doubts are put to rest, and there's a much better understanding of
Well, hey Lizzie, it's great to see you. How are you feeling? It's been a while since we've seen each other.
I know, well no, things are really turning around, feeling a lot better, more confident, I feel like my old self again, and things are looking up.
Okay, because I know from the regression, I think you took some very important messages in terms of self-esteem, not letting a man rule your life,
Yeah.
feeling much stronger within yourself,
Yeah.
you know, how things kind of developed since the past 4 months.
Well, things have really developed. I just feel I'm much more happy within myself. I'm not looking for other people to make me feel good.
Yeah.
And I've got that inner confidence. And my work-wise is going really well, which I think has helped. But I really do feel the regressions have helped me in the fact that I'm not looking for someone else to make me feel good and happy.
I think this is your time to make yourself happy, because I think before you spent too long, I think your previous marriage and
Yeah.
your past life, you've always worked on others.
Well, I
and
think that's in me because I love helping other people and making them feel good or trying to help them any way I can. But from doing the regression, I felt maybe it's not helping me and it's not helping me move on. And I've got to think of myself now. And
it's your time.
Yeah, my time.
I think you probably spent too much maybe thinking of others. It's time to kind of have some Lizzie time.
Lizzie time. Well, I've definitely given myself some Lizzie time, and I do feel, I felt quite empowered after our regression. You know, I felt really good. People said, I look younger. I look less stressed.
I remember when you woke up, you said it felt like you had a beauty treatment. You know,
I did.
A facial and a massage.
I felt really like weight was off my shoulders, to be honest, and it was very liberating.
Yeah,
and
it was quite emotional, and there were a lot of tears, which you were shocked about.
I didn't know I was crying so much, and the people around me, because I had 2 good friends sitting in it, were all in tears as well. So it was a very emotional journey.
Yeah.
And I think I put a lot of demons to bed through that. And
Okay. So the life of Anne in the 16th century has definitely helped you move on.
without a doubt. And had, what we went through was like, the worried and treading on eggshells and always doing what someone else wants to do. That way of life, I've realised, I don't want that anymore, and it's helped me really move on.
I'm sure your friends and family have all probably noticed.
Yeah, they're saying I'm much happier, more at ease, more relaxed. My work's going really well. My producer said, you're so relaxed these days, and I think I've just got a different attitude towards things.
In 3 words, what do you feel you've taken away from the regression?
Do you know what? I think I've got my old Lizzie back. I think I've got my confidence. I feel like my sort of inner beauty's been able to come out. I just feel doing things a bit in the right way and for me.
You deserve it.
Oh, thank you. It's lovely to see you. Good to see you again. Well, I was asked about doing regression. It was something, I'd never really thought about before, but I've always been very open-minded and actually thought, you know what, I'll give it a go. I'd had a tough time, big marriage breakup, very public, been with my husband 16 years, and you know what, I wasn't coping very well, and I thought, well, it might help me. It may not, but it may do, and I had an open mind about it.
And did you find it did help you once you went through the process?
In fact, I do feel it really did help me in lots of different ways. I felt this sort of self-belief back in myself and my self-esteem back, and I just felt that it really had helped me in so many different ways in my own life, and how maybe to turn in a different direction, maybe some of the things that I was doing before I had to change.
You mentioned walking with eggshells and regression, which is the 2 years.
Well, I felt in my relationship with my husband, I've been really walking on eggshells, and through my regression, I felt very scared. I couldn't speak my mind, and there were all these different things, and I felt it was actually really, was the same pattern as my marriage, and it was all the things I experienced, which were very emotional through my regression. I realised where I was going wrong. So when I woke from it, I was in floods of tears. I felt very emotional, but I felt this.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Thank you for coming.
You're looking forward to a journey?
Yeah, I am.
So, just tell me a little bit about your thoughts and feelings about past lives, reincarnation. Where do you stand on the subject?
I'm interested. I believe in it. I find myself to be quite a spiritual person, but my only kind of problem, to be honest with you, is that I struggle to think that someone can kind of get inside my head, Okay. For example, I always think, I'm so stubborn in ways that I don't think someone's going to be able to get in there and manipulate, and not to say that it's manipulation, but to let somebody just have free reign to tell me what to do or lead me on a path. I feel like I always kind of have to
be in control.
Yeah.
Well, part of this process is kind of letting go of that control. But you've got to remember, you are in control, because what you say, based on what you see, is within your hands. Because some clients, is once they wake up, they reveal more details of what they saw, depending on what they're comfortable with.
Right.
So, you know, you do have full control. So let's say you were Cleopatra,
yeah.
for example.
Yeah.
You know, you could describe her, but you may realise who she is, but you may not tell me.
Right, because I'm still in a state where I don't have to reveal everything.
Yeah.
I can keep things to myself.
You can keep things to yourself. So there may be things. We had one client who had dual genitals.
Yeah.
And she didn't reveal that until after the session.
Okay.
Because I think it was quite shocking for her.
Yeah.
So you do have that control. So, you know, people do think, you know, you've kind of let it all go, but you very much are in control.
Cool. Well, I'm excited. I'm glad you came. I'm definitely looking forward to it. It's something my mother and I have been talking about for years, and now we have the opportunity to do it. So.
Okay. I always believe we bring back certain personality traits, certain traumas, patterns. Do you feel there's anything in your life?
That's what I'm worried about.
Do you feel there's anything in your life that could possibly stem from a past life?
I mean, for years, people say it, but for years people have told me I'm an old soul, and I feel, to be honest with you, that I feel that way as well. You know, when someone said it to me years back, I felt that connection. So I feel there's some depth and some old spiritualness to it, but it's just never really come about. So this is an opportunity for me to maybe kind of dig in there and find out what's going on.
Okay.
That's if my brain lets you, but we'll see.
We'll try our best.
Exactly that.
So what I want you to do is just relax, take it easy. Whatever comes to mind first, just go with it.
Mm-hmm.
Ready?
Cool.
So just lie down.
Right.
Do you need more cushions?
No, okay, thank you.
So what I want you to do is just focus on two things. One is the sound of my voice, and the second, the rhythm of your breathing. So let's begin with breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the mouth. Breathing in and would you like to continue, or would you like to wake up?
I don't know, I'm looking, but
Finding it very difficult?
yeah.
Okay, what are you finding difficulty with?
I feel heavy all over.
Okay.
I feel very relaxed, but my brain won't let me. It's
I'm
not.
finding it very difficult.
Yeah, it's not letting me get. It's not letting me get deep enough into it to just find a. It's just. My brain.
Do you want to go even more heavy? To see if that helps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just continue a deep breathing and let go. Tense and relax, let go. And just allow the neck and throat to be heavy, heavier and heavier. Completely heavy and relaxed. And on the count of 3, just allow the heaviness to increase. 1, 2, and 3. Moving up, let's focus on the face. Tense and relax the face and let go. And again, tense and relax the face and let go. And again, tense and relax the face and just let go. And just allow the face to be heavy. Next. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the mouth. Breathing in and breathing out. Do you still feel tense or anxious in any part of your body? Are you completely relaxed, yes or no?
let me. I won't. I can't not let myself do it.
It's fine.
It's not. It's frustrating.
Would you like to wake up?
I don't want to wake up. I want to go.
Just breathe in. Let's begin with the visualization. Let's see if we can get your visual eye going. So what I want you to do is visualize a path. Can you visualize a path?
Thinking too much. I can't put myself at peace.
What's bothering you?
So,
Would you like to wake up?
yeah.
Take a deep breath. On the count of 5, I want your eyes to open and your mind to clear. 1, 2, move and shake your body. 3, stretch your body. 4, open your eyes. 5, and we're back.
Jesus.
As you breathe in, let's breathe out.
You got me deep in something there.
Breathing in and breathing out. And just stretch your joints and muscles.
Oh, that's frustrating.
No, you've just got to start walking.
No, see, here's the thing.
Oh.
I was heavy. I couldn't feel anything except for my brain. Nothing. All of my body was in a state of calm, but my brain, which I knew which was going to be my problem,
Wouldn't switch off.
blocked me from getting to where I needed to get. And it knew it. It was sending me wave after wave after wave of, you're not getting there, you're not getting there, you know? And so I knew I wasn't deep into something that was going to take me where I wanted to go.
Not to worry.
I know. I'll tell you what though, when I wake up out of that, I was like a deep sleep. You're gonna have to edit this part out, but you know what killed it was the fucking ice cream truck. Ice cream truck. It took me straight from it. I was going, and I was like, oh no, don't open my eye, don't open my eye. Fuck.
So you couldn't stand at the top of the stairs and look down?
And I would look for a path, and like I would feel myself, and I'd go, okay. Like there's all a blur. There's no clear. There's no nothing. There's no like detail.
Definition.
Right.
But there would be like a path, and it would go like this. But it wouldn't be a path. It would go across my brain, and then I would look for it. I'd look for it, and then yeah, because my brain's going and I would look for it again, and I would stop there and I'd go, is it there? And then it would go so it wasn't a deep. I couldn't go. There's my path. I'm walking down it. You know.
But you felt relaxed.
Yeah. I'm sorry about that, dude.
It's okay.
I was really, really hoping to get into something and go, Jesus, I'm on a horseback shooting bow and arrows or something. But my brain, I just don't think I'm ready for it yet. You know
Maybe
what I'm like.
Not the right time.
It is that. I think my daily life and my whole conscious when I'm awake anyway is too much
When
stuff.
there's too much going in your mind.
Yeah.
This doesn't work. There's too much going on.
Yeah.
Or if you're anxious, if you're not relaxed enough.
Yeah.
I think your body was relaxed, but
Yeah.
your mind wasn't.
It wasn't, dude.
And I think maybe you're thinking about things here and there.
Yeah.
Stresses, maybe other matters.
You know what the funniest thing is? I think to myself that like, oh, I don't think about what's around or the cameras, but I think if it was just a situation where I had nothing else to think about that day or a couple days around, and it was just you and I in a place of,
Yeah.
I could get there, because I know I want to go there. Thanks anyway, dude.
Maybe some other time.
Yeah, I hope so. Damn.
I know, what a shame.
Fucking damn. I told you beforehand though, my anxious, my thing, it just doesn't, your brain almost goes there, and I think to myself, all right, if I give him like 30 more minutes of this, will I completely clear my mind? But it wouldn't.
No.
When I go to yoga, for example, and like there's...
Because I use pan pipes and wave music, which I know we can't because of copyright reasons.
Yeah.
But usually that's what I would use, in private sessions.
And something to make my brain listen to that, like ding, or like a wah or something, to take my brain off of fucking being everywhere, but where it should be.
I think these sounds don't help either.
No, exactly. Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
It's okay.
It's all good.